Come, have a seat with us at the Weird Kids lunch table. Tonight, we're going to be revisiting our teenage years, except we're not because we're adults now, but hell, we're going to party like it. I am Lilith, and I'm here with Brittany
Hello.
and Amber
Hi.
to go over the movie Ibiza or Ibiza Love Drunk, depending on where you're viewing it.
Yeah, it's a
So,
little bit weird that it has two titles.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of get why, because honestly, just having it be Ibiza, it's a little bit harder to search for if you want to stream it or if you want to watch it. It's currently on Netflix for those who would like to partake.
Yeah, that's how we watched it. I'm just going to start off and say that I liked it. Was it goofy? Yeah. Was it a super great movie? No. But it was fun, and I had fun watching it. And plus, Will Ferrell's a producer, and anything done by Will Ferrell, I'm really happy about.
There's actually a lot of producers on this movie. I don't know how many there normally are, but there's like 5 on this movie.
That is a large amount of producers.
I feel like on movies, there's lots of producers. If a lot of people just want this thing to happen, they'll just kind of like sprinkle some money on it here and there. As far as I know, if you have executive producer as the title, basically you're helping to fund it and you get a say in it, right?
Yeah, that's how I understood it.
So yeah, if there's a lot of producers on it, it means a lot of people believed in the project and wanted to help it come into existence.
Listen, I just know the movie was funny. It felt empowering, women just being women kind of way. And it was funny. It was funny. I laughed the whole time.
Give us a short rundown of what goes on in this flick.
The thing with the plot, it's a pretty basic plot, right? Girl goes to work, girl gets sent on a job, girl kind of parties instead of doing job, falls in love with a DJ, chases DJ, hooks up with DJ, rushes to do job that they neglected to do the whole time, and then ends up getting fired because getting caught not doing their job.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't done all of those things in exactly that?
and then they say fuck you to the boss, and the boss is like, well, fuck you too. And so she's like, I'm gonna create my business. And then, I mean, that's like the summary of the movie in the most simplistic of terms, right? That's it.
I like that summary, honestly. I'm here for it.
It's Harper, Leah, and Nikki that are the friends that go on this adventure. And the characters and the trip are like loosely based off of a trip that the screenplay writer went on, I guess. The main character, Harper, her boss straight up sucks.
Yeah,
I don't understand like how she's able to talk to her like that.
I mean, honestly, it legit just sounds like abuse. She's just using a lot of abusive language.
Like sexual harassment and stuff. Like,
oh, yeah, big time.
She's like, yeah, go over there and like win over these horny Spaniards.
I mean, honestly, if I was Harper, I would also dick off on my job if I had a boss like that. So I don't blame her for dicking off like 90% of the movie.
And you do have the friends that would encourage you to do so and try to tag along.
I love those friends. I feel like I see all of my friends and those two friends very easily. Which, by the way, bringing that up, who do we see as who? Are you guys a Harper, a Leah, a Nikki, Amber? I feel like you're a little bit of a Leah, maybe a little bit of a Harper.
I didn't really think about who I would be too much, so I just know that I saw a lot of our friend Lisa and Leah because she straight up got into shit.
I saw myself in Nikki. I'm gonna be straight up. I feel like I would be Nikki.
Maybe when we get around to go into Europe, you can stumble upon a handsome European man.
I can kind of relate to Harper, but I also kind of relate to Leia because, man, I would not fucking wait for shit. I would just dive straight in like fucking Scrooge McDuck and his coins.
The thing with Nikki, where they're at that party and they give her the Adderall, and she's like, "Oh, these are just regulated for kids.
Yes,
I'm an adult.
she's
I could take these."
Popping them like
Gosh,
Tic Tacs.
That's me. That's me.
I was sitting there thinking when she did that, as someone who takes Adderall, I'm like, her heart is going to fucking explode.
You ran 30 miles on a treadmill. It's
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
Also, these ladies have a ton of money because they're in New York, and I don't know if that was just Harper's apartment or if it's all of their apartment, but it was huge.
I like to headcanon that they all share that apartment. They have to make a ton of money to live in New York like that.
Yeah.
Nikki's a dentist. Dentists don't make that much money.
She's a New York dentist, though. Maybe she's making New York dentist money.
I don't know.
I mean, if Harper was selling wine in another country, it kind of makes me think that she's got some kind of fancy job. I feel like people who travel for work probably make more money than people who don't, but I don't know.
I think she's a marketing position, not necessarily a salesperson.
Yeah.
So she was going to meet those guys who make the sangria mix to pitch her marketing ideas.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So she
Yeah.
does make big baller money. That's a professional business.
Also,
Uh-huh.
whenever we get around to going on any kind of vacation, can we have airport Cinnabon like they did? Because I have never done that.
Oh my
I've never
god,
had Cinnabon at all, actually.
Oh my god.
I spiritually connected to that because I get Cinnabon every time I'm in the fucking airport.
I was actually thinking while I was watching them sitting there eating the Cinnabons, I was like, those look pretty good. And I've only ever had Cinnabon flavored things, but never actually a Cinnabon. I've had toaster strudels, I've had breakfast shake things, and all kinds of stuff, but
Well,
never an actual Cinnabon.
I guess we
Did
gotta
you
go to
not-
the mall while you're here because there's a Cinnabon
Yeah.
in the mall.
Did you not get Cinnabon when we flew to Florida? Because I remember when we were flying together on Allegiant on the way back from Orlando, I was eating a Cinnabon. Did you not partake in that?
Maybe I
Might
got
not
something
have.
else.
Because you and Antonia might have been like, it's too early, I'm not hungry, and I'm sitting there like, Cinnabon.
Well, that's definitely not me because I have to eat as soon as I wake up. I wake up every morning just ravenous, like a wild animal, and I just like tear into some pizza rolls.
I mean, that's a
Pizza
solid
rolls
breakfast.
and cookie dough. That's the breakfast of champions.
Oh my gosh, I've gone back to my fucking teenage days where my breakfast consists of pizza rolls and Coca-Cola. I remember.
I've just gone like full autistic and just keep craving beige freezer foods.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not like that. Every time I see the TikToks, I'm like, I'm not like that. And then I'm like, oh, but I just want pizza rolls and mozzarella sticks.
Oh, those count?
Yeah. Beige
Might be-
freezer foods.
Now that I'm thinking about it, if you're counting those sorts of things, that's like most of what I eat right now. Those bean and rice burritos from Trader Joe's.
We got
Anyway.
so sidetracked.
Yeah.
So
We always
they
get
get their
sidetracked.
Cinnabon, they get on the plane, they go, and then they get to their hotel room.
It looks like a real hotel room was the first thing I noticed. It looks like it was nice, but it looks like people have used it.
And
Was-
they did.
Yeah. The first thing I want to note is that they actually start in Barcelona. So they're flying to Barcelona and they're staying in Barcelona right now.
They're not actually in Ibiza that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the first part of the movie takes place in Barcelona.
Yeah. So they get there, and Harper has to go meet with a dude that works for the Sangria Men. And
The Sangria Men, it kind of
yeah.
sounds like a shady, like, secret organization.
and
But
then
the dude fell in love with like Nikki.
oh yeah, like immediately.
Even though she just got the worst sunburn, you could see her sunglass marks and stuff in the promotional images. She was looking like a lobby.
Yeah. But before they head to all that stuff, my husband Jason had a pretty good one-liner because they mentioned don't lay on the bed, there might be residual jizz, and he was like, that's a great band name.
Residual jizz.
Yes.
Residual.
Residual.
Residual. Nikki also mentions the movie Shallow Hal, which I feel probably did not age well.
It didn't. I watched that recently. I suggest we could try to stomach it.
Oh god.
I say that because it is rough to rewatch, but it's Jack Black. So you're like, I can do it, but it's rough to rewatch.
Nikki talking about weed when Leah's trying to get her to smoke with her. I felt that on a personal level because I do not partake in the marijuanas. And she was just like, this reefer's dank, yo. And I was like, who can relate?
That's a side effect of the marijuana poisoning.
That's probably what I was like,
Yeah.
too. I remember I was very anti for a long time. I didn't know how good it was.
When Leah and Nikki are just laying on the bed, getting high and dicking around, and they're like, let's download this app
It's like shining a UV light in there.
and let's take a look at the room.
Yeah. Just screaming. Just screaming ensues. It's everywhere. It's on the walls.
Well, where do I jizz?
Yeah, there's bodily fluids all over there. And I know y'all are talking about it being jizz. To me, it looks like arterial spray.
Insinuating that it was sexy bodily
Which-
fluids.
Which I think I had missed part part of. So it was horror in a different way for me when I was looking at it. But now that you guys are mentioning it, they clearly were insinuating. Somebody has a straight up foam cannon going on downstairs to get it on the, on the ceiling like that.
They were like really, it was a lot of
cannon.
it was a lot of edging.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, you can learn about all them different positions, man. You can go upside down, you can go sideways, and then you just get your little whipped cream, man. You can find that G spot.
Oh my gosh.
I also really liked Leah naming the titties on the beach.
I love that scene.
Chef's kiss good.
For me, the movie was kind of hit or miss. There were parts I liked about it and parts I didn't like about it, but I loved that
Because,
part
you
where
know,
she was
like,
naming the titties.
They had to remind you that you're in Europe, so they had to show you titties.
Also, Flap and Wang and stuff in there. So they had some nudity on more than one side, at least.
Yeah. Then Diego was setting super unrealistic standards for men, coming in talking to Nikki like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how can anyone ever compare when he shows up and is just like, ah, yes, you may be sunburned, but by tonight, you're going to look absolutely gorgeous again, but you still look gorgeous right now.
Yeah. I kind of understood when she turned down the guy on the plane.
The way she turned him down later in that movie is
That
so
was-
fucking funny.
That was actually hilarious.
Because the guy was like, yeah, we're fucking tonight, right? And she's like, yeah, we're fucking friends.
Yeah. That was just so
I was like, fucking burn.
damn. She was really good at having a smile on her face while just saying the craziest shit.
Yeah.
Because she's like turning this guy down, but she's got a smile on and she's still jazz.
Great.
Yeah, I love Nikki. Actually, the three main cast people I liked through the whole thing. I liked their relationship with each other and how they hype each other up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because now there's so many people that are even mean to their friends. So, like, it's good
Yeah.
to have that kind of representation out there.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
they're just like legitimately love the shit out of each other. And when they go to the club and they're having a good time and they're just vibing, you know, I love that.
Also, who would let somebody just walk up to them at a club and draw something on their face?
Honestly, I mean,
They weren't
Me.
doing drugs at that point.
I've been to a lot of raves and it's slippery slope. You got this atmosphere of people just doing whatever. I brought stickers to a rave once and I was sticking them on people's faces. I was tripping balls. So I was just like, ooh, this would look really geek. So
I actually miss
Yeah,
a lot of
that
the
happens
club
a lot.
scenes because the lights are flashing too much.
I've done questionable things at clubs. So getting one of those glow in the dark pens and just the way that dude drew that penis. I mean, same. I would have seen the penis and I would have been like, you know what? Yeah, it stays there.
Yeah, but then
Well,
having
but then
the
you
big-
wouldn't have met
Yeah.
the DJ, right?
The DJ was hot. I'm sorry. It was a smile, right?
He's sitting there like offering to like touch your face. I'm
Yeah,
not.
it's
I mean-
it's that smile. That smile just murdered me. I was like,
she
okay,
like
you're
love
hot.
at first sight freezes.
Yeah. The only thing that was kind of weird for me is that later on, when they're in the cab sitting right next to each other, I'm sitting there looking at them and I'm like, they kind of look like they could be brother and sister.
I
You
didn't
went
notice that.
way too far, and you made that really weird.
Well, this just keeps getting weirder.
I just thought
I did
that,
not
like,
see that at all.
I thought their like first meeting, cringy, awkward conversation was very relatable.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely was. That was something I thought was cute because it felt like something that could actually go down,
Yeah.
not something that was just made up for a movie.
Yeah. When she leaves the DJ after they like exchange numbers and they end up going to this random dude's party, which first of all,
Hernando.
you know, I wish I had the balls to just show up at this dude's house party because like you don't know this guy, but you're going to show up to his house.
His mansion was sick though.
Oh,
it
it
was
was-
huge.
It was
Actually done that
fire.
before.
It ended up being legit.
Which is good because I will say one of the downsides for me to the movie was just how many times they did things that you shouldn't do without knowing the people first. A lot of things that they would legit get human trafficked or something.
yeah.
So the whole time I was just like, oh man, they're gonna get human trafficked.
Yeah, because that's the
It's
party
not that
where
kind of movie.
that's the party where Nikki starts popping the Adderall like Tic Tac, and she talks about a yacht, but she says yacht, like
I
she
love the way
pronounces
she
the
says
T.
it. Yeah, I love that she says yacked. It's one of my favorite things.
It also really made me
Yeah.
want sushi because they have one of the women that lays down that they eat the sushi off of at the party.
Oh yeah, acting a fool in front of that sushi girl.
So it
that
was
party was wild.
Well, it was at that point that Jason made another input that made it into my notes. He said that this movie's kind of like The Hangover for women.
A little bit.
Makes sense. I can see it.
I could kind of agree with that a little bit.
Golden insight.
I was really
see a
missing
taste.
I didn't see very many thick Spanish women running around anywhere.
No, I didn't either. It was
Yeah.
all very normal to skinny body types.
Yeah.
There wasn't.
And honestly, the normal people were mostly the main cast.
Yeah,
So-
everybody was extremely good looking in the movie.
When I was watching it, Brian had said that some of the dancers there looked like they were people that were paid to be there and look beautiful and dance, which I told him, well, they're in Barcelona, so maybe that's just how they look. But I don't know. Maybe they're just attending.
Well, also, you got to think the type of party they're in, too. That dude probably did pay a bunch of conventionally good looking women to show up and dance and be pretty.
Yeah, so it's possible. It could have been that way. Yeah.
That dude was also super nice because he was just handing out words of wisdom to Harper and then took her for some hookah. And where did she get the unicorn kigu?
I don't know, but I want it.
In between shots, it shows her like in her normal clothes and then the shot changes and she's in a kigu.
And she leaves with it too.
Stole someone's kigu.
Stole someone's kigu and left her clothes there.
Yeah,
and
'cause
then
they had to go. They
Leah.
had to like run away. They had to go. Leah did some fucked up shit. She was with that married guy.
Man. One of the things I remember during that scene was, damn, Leah was able to get everybody rounded up in a cab so quick before that woman started running out with a knife to try and get the girl who was sleeping with her man.
And she got them food.
The fact that she stopped Harper from taking a shit in the middle of the street, that's a real one.
Yeah.
That is a real one right
in
there.
the kigu?
Yeah.
In the kigu.
She was just squatting. She didn't even start to take it off.
She was gone.
And Nikki walking around like, hey, do you know where to get some pizza? Just asking strange men. Leah kept that shit together. She was a real one.
They did some straight up Ohio shit too, because at the restaurant thing they went to, they asked for like a big pile of corn with some ranch on top.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the most Ohio Midwest thing.
Yeah, with extra ranch. I was thinking that too. Man, like corn sounds really good right now. And then my second thought is, oh my gosh, I'm from Ohio.
You left Ohio. Ohio didn't leave you.
It didn't.
And it was at that point that they decided, oh man, look, it looks like your DJ man is going to be in Ibiza for the night. That's not very far. We should go.
Yeah.
And Harper's like, I don't know. I have work tomorrow. And they're like, fuck work. Let's go. And then she's like, fuck it. Let's go.
It was
So
at
they
this
ended-
point that I felt like it was a bit much just to get some dick. Like it was a bit much for me at that point, but if
The
they had the money to fly to
adventure.
Ibiza, why not?
Well, from
Yeah.
Barcelona to Ibiza, it's a very short flight. So I'm assuming those plane tickets are fairly cheap.
I don't know.
It's like a little hopscotch right over.
Especially since it seems like they are into the partying life and whatnot. And if Ibiza is known for that, then that's something that
People-
they were probably just wanting to do anyways and probably just feel like, oh, yeah, you get that.
Oh, look, Leo's just gonna be here. That's our excuse to go.
Yeah.
And
But that's where they meet the British guys.
the fun,
Oh, yeah.
the fun plane guys.
I want that plane experience so bad where you just kind of board and you sit next to like these dudes and like you hit it off and it becomes like a party in the back of the plane.
There's no way that
I want that.
would
so bad.
happen. It seems so improbable.
I
You
want to
have to have, like-
osmosis that experience.
You have to have like
So
super
badly.
duper main character energy for that shit to happen to you. They could afford the in-flight shots and stuff.
I think like 20-year-old me could have had that energy once upon a time.
I bet 32-year-old me can walk up on that plane with some main character energy if it looks like it could happen. Thing is, we kind of have to walk on the plane and see a group of guys around our age to be like, I bet I
Yeah.
could talk to
This
these
is gonna
guys.
happen. Actually, you know, that makes sense because I think that you were the one that there was some group of guys that was doing a panel at OhioCon one year. And I think it was you that got us all kind of lassoed together and into the panel. And we just kind of became friends with those dudes.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I have pictures from it. I
Yeah.
was cosplaying Wolfwood.
Yeah, that
And you
was
were Yuna, I think.
yeah. I'm one of those weirdly extroverted introverts.
I think that extrovert and introverted are kind of an interesting notion because I feel like I'm charged by both in different ways.
It depends on what kind of people you're around.
That makes a lot of sense because I feel like it's easy to be an extrovert when you're around other people who get it,
Yeah.
who are like on your level, you know?
I don't know. I feel like once I leave the day-to-day life and I'm in a con or at a club or even just out and about, I'm pretty extroverted. I can just talk to people. When I was flying out to visit you, Lilith, I ended up making friends with my seatmate and we played Mario Kart the whole time on his Switch.
That's awesome. So see, that could be you. Like,
You could be doing airplane shots with some fine Europeans.
I want to
Mhm.
osmosis that experience so bad. I hope that happens. I just need the perfect plane where I have that group of guys
Yeah.
so I can make it happen.
Yeah, definitely. And just, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you that it doesn't go Yellow Jackets.
They just have like the best luck in this movie though, because they go to the taxi driver's house and he's just chill.
He takes them to his house and he doesn't try to drug them.
Right.
It's the
Or
fact
kidnap
that
They mention that too. They're like, this is kind of weird for us to be doing.
Yeah.
and they're like,
And
it's
they're like,
because we're
"Yes."
from New York. And all these guys would be like, but everybody here is like really chill. And I'm like, you are so lucky. Because when they were driving, they're like, oh my God, yes, please take us to Flo. And then they realize that he's driving like in the opposite direction. And they're like, where are you taking us? And he's like, oh, I'm taking you to my house. I have to feed my dog first.
It's like the scene in Spree, like, where are you taking me? Home. This isn't the way to my fucking house. No, my home. My home.
Yeah, honestly, having spent a lot of time around New Yorkers recently, they've got more Midwestern energy. I feel like people from the Midwest would be a lot more trusting of strangers like that because people from New York City, they don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Protective. So I think that's why we could relate to it. My husband was just like, why did they do all of this stuff? They shouldn't have trusted any of these people.
But then they got to ride in the limo and Nikki got shitted on by a bird.
When they met the niece.
The
when
niece
they
is
met
fine as hell. I love her.
she was the coolest though.
She is iconic.
bonkers.
She had to stop and get some booger sugar. Once she got her buddies and her burger sugar, she was ready to roll. And you know what I appreciate the most about her was when they all got to Flo and they're all in that club and she gave them all free ecstasy. First of all, didn't charge a dime. Was just like, here you go,
but she
friends
was
and
good about it.
strangers.
Like,
have
she-
some ecstasy. And
Yeah.
then they're like, and then she's like, don't do alcohol with this. Drink plenty of water. Drink all this water and take that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was a good raver mom.
And then she took Harper to the backstage to the DJ.
That flip
Yeah.
she did down to like talk to Harper.
That was
Yeah.
beautiful. I was mesmerized. I was like, how did you do that? It didn't look real.
That niece was a real one.
She was a
for
treat.
everything she did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
Car chicken was a little much. I wasn't feeling car chicken.
Yeah.
once they got out of the near-death experience, she was a fucking bro.
Yeah.
She was doing them solid after solid.
Right, like she got them in there.
Yeah, she got them in there. And yeah, I mean, she got them ecstasy, which I wouldn't recommend anyone take drugs from a random stranger, but she gave them good advice. She told them what to do. And that's more than I can say for any random raver that you would ever meet.
Yeah. I also
Yeah.
refuse to believe that Leo has never like met and taken home a woman from one of his shows. Because he's like, I've never done this before.
I thought he was talking about the fact that he canceled half of his set to take her home.
Yeah, but
yes.
later he says that he
Uh,
doesn't just like pick up women at his shows and he doesn't want her to think that he just does that.
Yeah.
But he also
think
did
I
mean
missed
like
that.
cutting it short.
I thought he was literally just talking about the fact that he cut his set short.
Well, he was talking about both because he's like, I've never left a show early before and I don't just like take women home from my shows.
Yeah, he kind of did it at like different times. Started off with her talking about slut shaming him, and he's like, no, I actually don't do this. And then they went into the whole cutting shows in half part.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd believe that either.
Was it one of the footballers that Leah took back to the room?
The weirdo.
The weird guy.
Simpsons.
He had the laser fingers and like glow sticks and shit.
I remember sitting there thinking, oh, he's sensually taking off the finger lights.
Yeah.
Like, one at a time.
It was like the belly flop onto her.
Yes.
They're making a bunch of really random, like, dubstep sounds too.
Yes.
Like, it
was-
took them it up to like 11 and then belly flopped.
And And fucking Nikki just laying in the bathtub. I don't know what's going on out there. And Harper's getting some from her DJ, and I'm just in a bathtub.
She was
Sexting my Spaniard.
Yeah, she was sexting Diego and she took the unflattering down the shirt with the flash on booby picture to send him.
She secured herself a dick pic, which from her reaction was the desired effect. So
Yeah.
look at her go.
I love Nikki. I feel like she was my spirit animal in that movie.
She was
I
great.
related
So
to
good.
her so much.
Yeah, I definitely like Nikki. I got her.
What I kind of liked about this movie is just how sex positive it is for women. It didn't make it taboo that they were just kind of out hunting for a good time.
Right? Even the football-y guys, the UK dudes that they talked to on the plane were like, yeah, go get your man.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the weird downer one is like,
Yeah.
be responsible and safe. And they're like, bro, you need to reel that back.
I felt that. When he was that awkward, I was like, I feel that. I get it.
I feel like that dude all the time.
And when
Like
he
just
started-
the wrong thing.
And when he started oversharing,
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it just can't stop. I can't turn it off. It's stuck on. Yeah, no, I get that life. I related to the weird British guy on the plane the most.
I absolutely hate intimate scenes in movies. So Harper and Leo making out was like the absolute fucking worst for me. I was like, ugh, ew, gross.
It's vicious.
Yeah.
It was vicious. He was attacking her. It actually kind of
eating her
made me
face.
uncomfortable a little bit too.
It
Like,
always makes me uncomfortable. It's just because I'm demisexual and I'm just like, ugh.
part of me feels bad for watching. So when those scenes go on, it's hard for me to not avert my eyes because I'm like, oh, they're having a moment, you know?
Right. It's like, I'm not supposed to be seeing this.
it kind of depends on the scene. I felt like for those, it was okay. But where I start drawing the line is I'm going to bring up this other media, Queer as Folk.
Yeah.
Because those are very intense sexual scenes that I'm just like,
Yeah, this was
you
this
just
was
can't look
tasteful.
away.
This was tasteful. It like faded out.
Yeah.
It didn't get too like
Yeah.
obscene.
Yeah.
I feel like Queer as Folk is one of those that I just prefer watching for personal time sometimes.
Fire.
It just hits different.
The awkward implied sex scene also leads into the only conflict in the entire movie, which is Harper not getting up in time to catch the flight.
Her work obligation went from a dinner to a breakfast.
Yeah, so she had to be there at
11.
11. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the amount of like self-flagellation she was doing this whole time.
I feel like they could have just said she's going to be an extra couple minutes. Like, oh, the flight was delayed. Like, make something up. But instead, Nikki does her best.
Honestly,
God.
Nikki had it in the bag until they video conferenced the boss.
Right.
Like,
She's like,
it
who the
would've-
fuck is that?
It would have been a clean sweep.
I was sitting there thinking, no, they're not gonna do that, are they? They're gonna do it. I'd totally do that. I'd do you guys a solid.
Take the food with me, like she did when she like
Yeah.
awkwardly walks away. She just like grabs the plate of food.
It's probably good stuff.
Yeah. When they all get back to New York and like back to normal life, the way the boss reamed Harper was just absolutely disgusting. But I loved how Harper was like, you know what? I'm not taking this shit, and gave back as good as she got.
Right. If you're already
Oh, yeah.
fired, why not make an exit like that? It was iconic. She's just like, fuck
Yeah.
you. You're gonna be a bad mom to your babies.
Oh yeah.
Really went under the belt, but you know what? Deserved. It was
Honestly, if
deserved.
she's willing to be that verbally abusive in an office setting, I can't imagine what she's like at home.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like around people, you know?
Well, at the beginning, she says that they did a donor and a surrogate because she straight up told her husband, you would not make a good father.
I mean, clearly she's gonna give him a complex regardless.
Right.
So may as well get told off for it in a moment of passion.
I was really proud of the decision to not let Harper just throw away her possibility at starting her business right away to go chase some dick in Tokyo, because Leo's like, hey, of course I'm calling you right after you got fired. I'm playing in Tokyo. Do you want to come meet me?
I really liked that it wasn't such a super romantic ending, but it was like a self-empowering ending. I'd love to be in touch. I want you to come to me because I'm busy working on stuff for me right now, but you can come visit me.
Right. She was like,
Mhm.
I can't always come to you. You have to come to me.
Yeah.
They were mad cute together on the phone, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really adorable.
Yeah. The progression seemed reasonable with their relationship. It seemed like it actually works.
They were both very awkward and cute towards each other.
Yeah, exactly. It felt very even. At the beginning, when she first met him, she thought that the set that was going on at the time when she saw him was his set. So that's how he kind of knew that she wasn't just a super fan.
Yeah, because she clearly
know.
was not there for the music. She just like so happened to be around and they went
Yeah.
to the club.
Which,
Exactly.
talking about the music in that movie was kind of phenomenal.
It was
like
fun.
EDM music, the club music.
I just loved all of it, and the fact that they had Bad Bunny in it.
I do not enjoy club music.
I enjoy all of that. We got reggaeton in there. We got club music in there. It was mwah.
The other music was fine. Club music is not for me.
Makes sense. I liked some of it, and I was like, for some of it. I couldn't point out to any particular things. I will say that the dude's set seemed pretty good. The love interest, Leo set, I liked.
I know a lot of work goes into doing stuff like that. It's just not for me.
Oh yeah, totally makes sense. You like what you like.
Really funny how they only spend one night in Ibiza and they titled it Ibiza.
I was thinking that too. I was like, why did they call this Ibiza? They didn't spend any time there.
And they didn't even get to film in Ibiza.
It just seems kind of weird to me.
It's like they couldn't think of a name, so they were just like, well, part
Yeah,
of
like
it's
the
in
movie.
Ibiza.
Most of the time it was in Barcelona. I felt like
I-
Barcelona would have been a better thing where they met.
I feel like Ibiza makes sense because the biggest reason for the movie is the fact that she met this guy and she chased him. So they named it about the place that they chased him to, Ibiza Love Drunk.
That makes sense.
Oh.
It was just funny that they weren't there very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they were ever intended to be there very long. I think it's just symbolic, and I could just be thinking really too hard.
Well,
But I
honestly,
think
it's the thing that makes the most sense as to why it would be called that. So,
Well, the thing was
Yeah.
that the person that wrote the screenplay, it was a trip that she took to Ibiza. It wasn't Barcelona and then Ibiza. Like, it was a trip that she took with her friends to Ibiza that inspired these characters and this story. That
So
part
there's
makes
a-
sense.
okay.
They just had it start somewhere else.
Interesting. Well, that makes sense. I guess there's like a few reasons why Ibiza would make sense, both in the context of how it came about and Brittany's explanation about Ibiza Love Drunk. And also having the additional title does make more sense with that as well. Because once you said it all lined up like that, it made so much more sense. I was like, oh, yeah, Ibiza Love Drunk. Got it.
Yeah, I think it's really funny that it doesn't have very good reviews. One thing had it at like a 3.6 out of 10 because I didn't think it was that bad.
It was okay.
I thought it was really fun. I had fun watching it. Would I rate it like a top 10 movie? No. But it's fun to watch. I rate it up there with Talladega Nights. I'm going to laugh each time I watch it.
It's just a cute little rom-com.
Yeah,
It doesn't take itself too seriously. It knows what it is.
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm probably not returning for future rewatches on this, but I'm glad I watched it once. There were parts of it that I got something out of.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was just a little hit or miss. The theming is good. I like the relationship between the friends. I like relationship between the person and the main love interest, how like cute and awkward they were.
Yeah.
But I don't like how many times they do things that if a real person were to do them, they would probably get trafficked. It gives this impression that you can do this and be fine. It just kind of made me scared for them the entire time.
Even at the end, Harper gets on the New York subway by herself late at night, and I was just like, I could never.
I mean, they live in New
Hmm.
York. How else are they going to travel?
Yeah, but the train was
Like,
like empty.
I-
So it
that's
had
still-
to be late.
Yeah, you live there.
Yeah, I don't really know how people that live there do.
Without proper transportation, if you end up staying out really late, you're just going to have to catch the subway. Taxis are like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Nobody's paying for a taxi unless they got money.
Oh, yeah, and she did just get fired. So there's that.
And
Yeah.
plus, I mean, I don't know. I feel like everything they did was stupid white girl shit, so I relate to it because I too have done some stupid white girl shit where I probably should have been murdered or kidnapped. But it ended up turning out for the best, so holler. I mean, we did take a road trip at 18 by ourselves, completely cross country. That dumb white girl shit. We've done some dumb white girl shit too.
Oh, for sure. I've definitely done things many a times that I should have died, but I would in no way endorse doing those things.
Use your best judgment. For safety reasons, you probably shouldn't just roll with the punches like that all the time.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
definitely ended up in a hotel room like the one in there, but it was blood.
Yeah.
And the walls, the lampshade, all that stuff. Yeah.
A rodent. I think it was a possum, a
Oh,
rat.
no.
I don't
Way too
know.
big to be a
It
at. It had to have been like a possum or a raccoon or something that scuttled out of there.
To this day, I still hate Utah.
Yeah, I can't do Utah. I'm sorry, Utah. I'm sorry, Salt Lake City. It's not happening.
No, you did us dirty not once, but fucking twice.
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 Are completely different things, mind you. So I love any fans that we have from there, but no.
Yeah,
Never Utah.
Not catching me in Utah. We got trauma from there.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Ended up leaving that hotel, motel, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and driving straight through to Idaho.
And you know the reason why we stopped there? It was because they have a pool.
Oh,
We were
no.
looking for places that have a pool.
Oh,
You don't
no.
want to know what the pool was?
Oh no. I'm laughing because I know what the pool was.
They had a building that looked like a garage with like a glass door on the one side. And it was one of those plastic, like the hard plastic kiddie pools
No.
with like beach chairs around it.
No.
Pool toys, and that was it.
That
like,
was
there was
it?
a beach ball in there. That was the pool.
It's like DashCon.
It was really bad.
It was the Ashcon of motels.
Their cereal bar was also set out there, and it was an assortment box of cereals and a gallon of milk just sitting on a
And
table.
the milk was just sitting on the table. It wasn't even being refrigerated.
Where's OSHA? I love
It's
mystery.
the
though.
middle of the night. Mystery.
Oh my god.
That's
One
really
of
what
these
it was.
days, we'll have to tell the entire road trip adventure because Utah felt like a scam. I felt like that entire state scammed me.
I kind of want a mystery milk pen now.
That'd be like the most questionable merch to create. A shirt that says mystery milk.
What does this mean?
If you know, you know. If you don't,
well.
you don't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I had to put on my Karen hat just so like get our money back and dip.
So bad. No, we're gonna have to have you guys recount that trip at some point.
Maybe we can write out a dramatic,
A
like,
dramatic reading.
Oh my god. If our fans really want to hear the wild shit we got up to and what happened in Utah, you can comment and let us know, and we can try to record an episode for Utah.
I don't think this thing that happened in Utah should stay in Utah because the world should know. I really want to find out what this place was.
I wish I could remember the hotel name.
Try to Google it.
It was sketchy as hell.
People were like
I
looking at
remember
the
it.
windows and doors and stuff as though they lived there. Like, you know, when you live in a small like neighborhood where everybody knows each other, someone new who's coming in, like you like, oh, I don't recognize that car, and everybody kind of looks out their window a little bit, like, who's that?
People came outside and watched us.
They were
Ew. I would
came out
immediately
with
be
the
repacking
plastic
up the car. I'd be like, no.
deck chairs. They had those white plastic deck chairs, you know, like the hard ones. Carried those outside on the concrete sidewalk in the front, and they were just sitting on
At a
the
hotel? Motel?
yeah, motel. But yeah,
Definitely not a Holiday Inn.
Was it like a
No.
La Quinta?
I don't think so.
I
feel like
think
wasn't,
it
like, a
was
major
set
brand.
up. I think it was set up kind of like a La Quinta, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I feel like if it was a La Quinta, we might
Would
not
have been
have.
better.
We would have been better off.
We'll save all of the juicy details about it if people actually want to hear our dumb shit stories. Because we were dumb as fuck teenagers doing dumb as fuck shit all the time.
Yeah.
Do you have any final movie thoughts?
As far as the movie goes, I have a good time. I put it up there with Talladega Nights, you know. Every time I watch it, it's laugh. I enjoy that it's female centered because you don't get too many movies that kind of give you those good vibes where they're free with their sexuality. They're just showcasing that girl BFF tight knit friendship that people have. I really enjoyed that they just weren't catty. They were just BFFs doing BFF dumb shit, and it was fun. It was just a fun movie. I had fun.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Yeah, it showcases that like girlfriend group bond without having the twist or conflict of the movie be, oh no, one of the friends slept with the guy instead of her, went and stole her
There was
man.
none of that.
Yeah, like, there was none of that.
Very good point.
It's just a little sit down, have a good time, have some laughs movie. With stuff being like so shitty in the world all the time, you kind of need some of those.
Real. I think I said a lot about how I felt about it. It's alright. Good takeaways. Drink all of the water with your ecstasy. Don't poop your kigu. Don't let your friends poop their kigus. Get that.
Leah was a real one, stopping her from taking a shit in the middle of this.
Get you a friend that'll stop you from taking a shit in the middle of a European street while you're wearing a kigu.
Those are the friends you need in life.
I feel like that's a pretty good note to end on, don't you guys?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sitting with us, and we will catch you next lunch break. Bye.
Bye.
See you later.